Secretaries are an important part of our 4-H Club's superhero officer team. Today, I will give you tips and information to turn you into a super 4-H secretary. So, what does a secretary do? Well, as a secretary, you should arrive at the meeting ahead of time. You should discuss the items of business with the leader and the president so you know what's coming. You should inform the president of any unfinished business from the previous meetings. You should sit next to the president during the business meeting. You should inform the president and leader if you're going to be absent. You should work cooperative with all the other officers. And you should call roll and keep an accurate record of attendance. You can remain seated while you do this. Some other secretarial jobs are reading the minutes of the previous meeting and making any necessary corrections. This is where you actually stand. You should take accurate notes of the events of each meeting. You should assist the president during the meeting by writing the motions as stated and restating the motion if necessary. And you should read any correspondence that's mail, thank you notes, letters, directed to your club group and write letters for the club, such as thank you to presenters or places that you give field trips, lots of those type of things. Some other things that secretaries do, they maintain a record of all officers and committees in the secretary's record book, and you can download that off of our website under officer information. They also cooperate with the reporter by providing information needed to prepare articles for the newspaper, and they use the notes you take at each meeting to write minutes of the meeting for the secretary's book. If the president and vice president are absent, the secretary also has to call the meeting to order and preside during an election of a temporary chairperson. So one of the most important parts of your job as your club secretary is to keep accurate minutes of each meeting. So what are minutes? Well, meeting minutes are the official record of what decisions were made, what happened, and all the other consequential events that occur during the meeting, such as who gave the program, who provided refreshments, and what game the club played for recreation, and many more. It does not need to be a word-for-word account of everything said during the meeting, but should have all the motions as well as who made them in the minutes. So some things you need to include in minutes: the type of meeting, whether it's regular or special, the name of your club, the place and date of the meeting, who presided, the time the meeting began, the number of members, leaders, parents, and guests who were present, a statement that the minutes were approved or read as corrected, the meeting was called to order at a certain time, the treasurer's report, including a balance of your treasury, the reports of other officers and committees, complete motions, including the name of the person making the motion, the exact wording of the motion, that it was seconded, and whether it passed or failed. Important points discussed if they are of value for future reference. So you don't have to put all the discussion that you might have on a motion, but if there's something important on there, you might have that, especially like if you table a motion or had, postponed it. Committee appointments and assignments of the members, the type of program and the presenter's name, acknowledgement of services to clubs such as refreshments provided by, and then you end it with your signature on there. And when it's approved, the president signs it as well. So you're getting ready for your 4-H meeting. You're ready to go. What do you need to do? So as a secretary, before the meeting, you need to gather and arrange in a convenient order all the correspondence received since the last meeting to take to the meeting. You want to be sure that you have an up-to-date roll call of members for easy attendance taking and a list of special and standing committees and their duties. You want to check the minutes of the last meeting for old business, such as tabled or postponed motions, and make a note to bring each item to the attention of the president. If you can't attend a meeting, be sure to tell the president and the leader in advance and give your secretary's record book to someone who will take it to the meeting. All right, so now you've done your meeting, you're home. What do you need to do after the meeting? Your job's not done yet. You still have some few things to do before you can be done with your job for the month. So after each meeting, you want to write the minutes as soon as possible after the meeting. If handwritten, be sure the final minutes are neat, legible, and written in ink. If using a word processor, be sure the final minutes are in a font that will be easy to read. Sign at the end of the minutes. The person who is presiding when the minutes are approved will also sign. So one of the reasons we want you to write the minutes as soon as possible after the meeting so you don't forget what happened, because we aren't the best always at taking our notes. So if you can actually write those up immediately, you'll kind of remember things more likely than if you wait till right before the next meeting and it's been a month since you wrote the minutes. You want to write any necessary business letters or letters of thanks on behalf of the club, and then inform absent officers or committee chairs of action that concerns them. So maybe you had a float committee and somebody brought it to the club that you wanted to do a float in the St. Patty Day parade. So you would want to make sure that that committee chair knows that that is happening and that they would need to get their committee together to plan your float. All right, so those are a few things to keep you as a superhero secretary. So your superpower is keeping accurate minute and roll call is for our 4-H secretary superpower, and will turn you into a secretary superhero for your club.